Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Lachauskas. Today's the 30th of May 2018. Welcome everyone. So, yep, we're going to have a quick look at the markets, what's happening. So, the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest. Basis, we throw out different trading shoutouts, different technical analysis, and of course, I mean, our main analysis of the day. So the looking at is the S&P 500 now. Quick review of this. The index met its support around this downwards moving trend line here, so it managed to test this downwards moving trend line from above. This downwards moving trend line, just to remind you guys, is running from the end of January this year. So this 26.55 mark approximately here, and if that doesn't hold, well, I mean, it is opening the path towards these lower levels here, especially first we could end up touching the 200 EMA, and if that doesn't hold, well, we could end up moving just a nice bouncing ground for this index. We could see another break here above the 2700. If we do get something like this, keep an eye on today's close. Certainly if we get a close above this, then there's some potential for this to go towards this next area, good area of resistance at around 2742 approximately there, a break of which could open the path towards these higher levels here. But for now, of course, let's not over speculate on this. Let's see where it wants to open today, and just keep an eye on these two levels that I've mentioned to you guys right now. So keep an eye on this downwards moving trend line here for a potential break of that, or a break of this upper one that we broke recently yesterday, the 2700. Let's quickly have a look at the FTSE 100. Now, today we're seeing a bit of recovery here, retracing back to the upside a little bit. Certainly, it's still looking weak. We are below this key area of now is going to become resistance, this key level, the 76.90. We're also below the 21 EMA as well here, shown as the yellow line, and we are aiming currently towards this 75.65 mark as the next potential area to test. And certainly if that doesn't hold, well, we do have another better one, which is this one here, the 74.90 mark. So approximately here, that could act as a good level of support. Now, certainly we do have also the bottom side of the Bollinger Band approaching that level, so could end up moving towards this level for a quick test. And certainly, of course, if we do get a move towards this level, we'll just have to reevaluate the index again and see what it wants to do. Maybe it will want to continue pushing lower, maybe even a test of this 200 EMA could be possible. But for now, just stay sharp here. If we do get a strong pop here above the 76.90, well, I mean, this could open the path towards this higher level right here, the 77.95 approximately here, and then of course if that doesn't hold, well, we could end up pushing higher here. Now, just to kind of point out the importance of the 77.95 area, that's approximately where the high of this January was. So I mean, this level could act as a good level of resistance, but only if we do get a nice break here above the 76.90, guys. So keep an eye on this one. Looking at the DAX quickly, and the DAX is, well, it's trading around this 200 EMA, let's say like that. And currently, of course, we were looking at this 12,600 level, and we saw that yesterday it had a nice well, kind of bounce from it, and now we're moving a little bit higher here, getting a little bit of retracement. Certainly keep an eye on this higher level right here, the 12,830 approximately here. If we do get a nice break above this, well, this could open the path towards the psychological 13,000 again. But for now, until we got the break here, we're gonna just, well, we're just gonna keep the upside more as a plan B, because overall the index is looking weak. I mean, we could end up pushing lower here towards this 12,600 approximately here. We could eventually test that area again, and if we do get a break below, well, I mean, this is probably not looking good for the index, and we could move towards this level right here, the 12,450. But for now, just keep an eye on this little range here that we've got. Let's see where it wants to break, which of the sides it wants to break. If it breaks the higher one, yep, it's opening the path towards the higher level here. But again, like I said, if we're going to continue this sell-off and continue this, if the negativity will continue, then yeah, keep an eye on the 12,600. Okay, let's quickly, I want to touch on the Shanghai Composite. Now this is an interesting one as well, just because it's at an interesting spot, let's say like that. So we are currently sitting here at these lows at around the 3,041, approximately 3,041.5. let's say, it's more precise probably. This is where it's finding its nice level of support. This area acted as a good level of support in mid-April this year, so watch out for this one, guys. If we do get a continuation break here to the downside, well, the next level to watch could be this 3,015. And of course below that we do have the next good level of support at around 2970. So certainly this could end up moving lower and testing this downwards moving trend line here, and testing that from above. But of course be careful with this one, we could get some surprises. Certainly if the traders will decide that this is actually a good ground, this is a good bouncing ground where it is right now, the 3,041.5, we could see maybe a bit of retracement back to the upside. If we do get something like this, then keep an eye on this level here, the 3,090. A break above that could push it higher. We could fill this gap here that we had, and we could end up testing the 3,115 approximately there. So for now, guys, keep an eye on it. Let's see where the market's going to open, and let's trade from there. Let's have a quick look at the euro dollar, and the euro dollar is, well, getting a nice recovery today, and we're seeing that it's bouncing off this trend line here, this long-term upwards moving trend line that has been running since January to the 2017. So we're getting a nice bounce here to the upside. It managed to get its find its resistance at around this level right here, the 116,500 approximately there. And of course now the question is this, are we going to continue moving higher and testing this downwards moving resistance line, or actually was just like a one-off correction, and then we're gonna move lower again tomorrow, let's say, or even Friday? So for now, of course, just keep an eye on it. Certainly it's at the tricky spot, a very tricky spot, I would say. It could break down, the same could break down to the downside, and if we do get a break here below this upwards moving trend line here, this long-term upwards moving trend line, keep an eye on this next potential level as a level of support, the 114,500 approximately there. Could act as a good level of support, just because on a bigger picture it is I've mentioned this in my previous video this morning, and the 114,500 is the 50% Fibonacci retracement here. If we take it from the lows of January last year and up to the highs of February this year. So if you draw Fibonacci here, actually let me just quickly do that for you guys, and you can see that this level here, the 114,500, is a nice level here that coincides here with the 50% Fibonacci retracement. So good area, could be a good area for a bounce, but for now, of course, we're seeing that we're bouncing off this trend line, and of course let's keep an eye on this area right here, especially at this downwards moving resistance line. If we get a nice break here above, and especially a close above this line, well, then we're opening the path towards these higher levels here. Watch out for the 117,300, and then the next one could be the 118,200 approximately there. These could be the nice good levels of resistance initially, but if the momentum, the buying momentum will stay there, then well, we could end up even pushing higher here. But for now, of course, let's see what it wants to do with this area. Let's quickly touch on the GBP USD. Now GBP USD slightly looking more promising than the euro, and we're seeing that it's currently testing the downwards moving resistance line here that has been running since mid-April this year. Certainly the question here is, are we going to stay above here today? Are we going to get a close above, or is this still going to close below and we will continue pushing lower? I mean, for now, probably I would recommend to stay careful here. Be very careful, because if we do get a nice close above here, and especially a close above this nice beautiful number of 133, yep, this could be promising. We could end up pushing a little bit higher here. We could finally see this this correction to the upside, this slight recovery in this pair. But I mean, if this line is going to continue holding, then, well, I mean, it could turn ugly again. It could start breaking this 132-200 level, and if it does break that, well, I mean, it could open the path towards these lower levels here. And the level that I'm watching here is the 130.55, approximately there. This could be a nice level of support. And yeah, so guys, I mean, for now, just keep an eye on this downwards moving resistance line. Let's see what it wants to do with it today. Let's quickly touch on a few dollar pairs where the dollar is the base. So USD JPY, we're seeing a nice recovery here to the upside, kind of slightly testing this 109 area. Of course, the question here is, are we going to break that? If we do get a break here, a nice break and a close, then there's some potential for this pair to move towards this upwards moving trend line here, and testing that one from underneath. And this trend line has been running since 2012, so keep an eye on it, guys. I mean, a nice break above this 109 could push this pair a little bit higher here, and if that doesn't stop the pair, we could end up testing the psychological 110 again. And if we do get a test of the psychological 110, well, stay sharp, because we could end up pushing higher again. So for now, guys, be very careful here. Certainly at the moment, if we do get a nice move here below the 108.650 approximately there, then this could maybe turn ugly again for this pair, and we could end up pushing towards this lower level right here at around 107.900. So for now, the 108, keep an eye on the 108.650 approximately there. Certainly keep an eye on the 109. We need to see where this pair is going to close today, and let's see if it wants to close above this 109 or actually go below the 108.650. If it stays somewhere in between, probably just wait for a better signal here. Wait for either a break below this area that I was talking about, the 108.650, or a break above the 109. So keep an eye on this one, guys. This could be interesting. And the one last pair that I wanted to touch on is the USD CAD. We're seeing this, we saw this retracement initially here to the downside, but now it's kind of moving back up here, back above the psychological 130, kind of trading around it right now. So let's see if it stays today above the 130. If it does, then, well, I mean, this could get another attempt of attacking the 130.500 mark, and if that doesn't hold, it's opening the path towards this higher level here that we saw in March, the 131.200 approximately there. Could be a good level to test. And of course, for now, just observe this pair. It's very tricky. I mean, especially just because it's trading currently at the psychological 130. We need to see a nice break here below this downwards moving trend line here in order to become more bearish on this one. But if we see a nice break above this 130.500, well, I mean, we were probably going to turn more bullish on this one. Okay, guys, I'll have to wrap it up here, and I hope you found this useful. Just to quickly remind you that there's not going to be any videos, neither Traders Espresso or Traders Tea Time today. Tomorrow and on Friday. So we will resume on Monday. Okay, guys, thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye-bye.